Alright, so I thought I'd do a regular video. The last video I know was boring as hell, a lot of you people. If you don't know what I was talking about with the coding, with abbreviations, boring. For those of you that do know what I was talking about, probably much appreciated showing everybody that. Anyhow, we're working on the E39. As you know, we have the engine out. We have the new engine came in. It is right here on the engine stand. Getting ready to hook the cherry picker engine hoist to it now. And before I do, there's a few things we got to address. First of all, I see I need to pop that torque converter back in its place. I just ordered, and I forgot, it's my bad, forgot to do this before, got busy with other stuff. I just ordered a new reservoir and the line going to the pump and the line going to the cooler, because this big line isn't leaking. It had a little oil on it from the engine, but it's not leaking. So we're going to replace all that. If I don't, man, you guys know how E39s are. They leak power steering fluid like nobody's freaking business. So we're going to do that. But that's not going to keep me from putting the engine in now. Those parts will be here probably Tuesday. I think other than that, we need to put the exhaust manifolds on the engine. There's a few things about this. So this car had a blown head gasket before, it had pulled head studs before. So at some point in time, it was burning a lot of coolant, and then after the new certs failed, we know it's probably burning coolant again. Don't know the history past that. I don't remember anymore if it had any catalytic converter lights on or not. So what we're gonna do? I could buy a new set of headers with no cats in them. They're about $100. I don't want to do that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I do know, from E46 to some years E39, some years E46 are different. They're all different lengths. There's a different variety of those. And when you go to buy them, it doesn't specify what they're for. It says E46 and E39, 99 to 03, 99 to 06 or 05. So in fear of ordering new headers for it, them getting in here and they're not the right length, I don't want to do that, because I can't tell if they're right until I put the engine back in, and then I have to take the engine back out if they're not. We don't want to go there. So I thought, well, maybe these are still good, right? Maybe they're okay. Well, the shorty here, we shine the light down in it, in the O2 sensor hole. So you got the O2 sensors out of it, and the front of the converter is totally stopped up, which is very common for M54s. You know, that close to the engine, they really get stopped up quick if you had any kind of PCV or CCV or head gasket issue. Here's what the deal is. That one I can knock out no problem. That one, the pipe's too long to knock it out. So I could go through the port up here. I need to try to find a piece of flexible wire, and these only have the little briquettes in them. So the whole thing's not catalytic converter. It has like a little briquette at the end of it, of that honeycomb stuff, and a little briquette right there of it. And then the center, I remember I had like a steel wool type stuff in it. It was just like a filler, right? So those got to be knocked out. We're going to go ahead and delete the secondary air pump. I ordered the block off plate. Where are we even at here? For the secondary air valve. Ordered OEM one of those. And we're going to go ahead and do what some people call the Euro tune. It's not really called that. It's slang for what it is. But since we have the software to do it, we're going to code off the rear oxygen sensors. We're going to code off the secondary air pump. And once we do that, the car will be okay with not having cats on it. I usually don't like to run stuff without converters on them, because the car usually stinks. The exhaust smells strong. I don't know if this one will do it or not. I know if you do it on a 4.4, it'll stink real bad. And so, I mean, that's probably what we're going to do, I guess. Maybe we'll, instead of cutting this video off, I'll just go ahead and stop it for a second. I'm going to go ahead and haul those cats out, do that. If we just can't do it, I'm going to just order headers for it. I mean, we'll see what it's like. I'm not going to cut those open. So yeah, we'll be back in a minute here. Let's see if we get it done. If we get that done today, That's another reason I don't order headers for it. I want to put the engine in today. We get that done today. I'll bolt into the engine, torque them all down, and we'll set this engine in the car. We'll see. Okay, so this is where we're at with it. We tried the converters on those. We can't knock them out easily. It's just not that kind of manifold. You know, like on a 540 or X5 with a V8, you could knock them out like a one hit and it'll break them up. These are solid all the way through. They're very difficult. That one I could do. I mean, that's doable because it's just kind of a straight shot. This one is not doable. I know if I leave those in there is going to be a mistake, because what's going to happen, whether I keep this thing or if I sell it, I don't know yet. It's kind of nice to have the E39 around for videos and it would serve as an extra car, but we have the E60. If I had enough inside space, I'd keep them both because we keep making videos on them or whatever. So I bought a set of, I don't remember what the brand name of them were, Black Horse, I think it was Black Horse headers from eBay, and they had good reviews. Everybody says the rear O2 sensor won't clear the car. That's fine. We're not going to use that anyway. I really do think that they were $105, so get them in here. I think I'm going to have to put a straight edge on the flange where it bolts to the head to make sure it's straight. If it's not straight, I'll run it to the machine shop, have them plane it down. It shouldn't cost much. And that should be it. They're stainless. Everybody says paint them anyway because they'll rust right away. I could do that. That's no problem. I can't put this engine back in until we have those. Period. That frustrates me, but then again, if I put it in right now, whoever I sell it to is going to have a check engine light sooner or later for efficiency low, and those converters are going to need to be replaced. And taking those manifolds off in the car with the engine in the car is not my idea of a good time, period. And you clearly see the one stopped up, full of white crud on top. So I think we'll run the decal. We're going to run the Euro tune, like I said. Won't have the rear O2 sensors. Won't have the secondary air pump, air valve. I did order a OEM block-off plate for the secondary air valve. That way it looks factory. So this car will not pass smog. Will not pass a sniffer test. It'll pass smog in St. Louis. It'll pass smog anywhere they don't have the sniffer. In fact, I don't think they sniff anything now except for California and New York. But anyhow, I guess what I'm going to do is just wait a little bit. And I hate waiting. So anyway, I got sidetracked. What the situation is with this car is worth about $3,000. And with the trade deal, with the engine, right now with the engine and all the parts, they have $964 in parts in the engine. Which is actually less than I thought. I was expecting we were going to have to buy a valve cover, but I don't have to as of right now. And that's using all name brand parts except for the headers. So I'm sure there'll be a few other things. Let's just say $1,000 the time we change the transmission fluid in it. And it should be a pretty good car. It should be a very good car at that point. If I buy tires and wheels for it, which I'm going to have to, I'm going to have about $3,500 in it. I'm going to be in at $500 more than what the book is on it. So I don't know. I mean, will I get that back out of it? I really don't know. It depends on who's buying it. If somebody buys it that watches the videos and they've seen everything that's been done to this thing, may not be an issue. What I really hate to do though is get everything done and then park it outside. That's what I don't like about it. You know, when stuff's just outside in the Midwest in the wintertime, the weather's hard on it. The weather's brutal today. It's like 30-40 mile an hour winds, gusts. It was really warm, 62 degrees today, and now it's supposed to be in the 20s tonight. It's just a brutal place, a terrible place to live. That's hard on the seals, that's hard on the interior of the car, that's hard on anything at all. And the other thing is mice. In the wintertime, mice love to get in stuff. And I even toyed the idea of putting a temporary awning on the front of the shop here, just so I had some more parking space. But you start doing stuff like that and buying wood and buying metal. What turns out to be a few $100 awning turns out to be $1,000 awning, and if I'm gonna rip it back off come springtime, I don't know. I just don't see it be worth it. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I mean we have to go ahead with the car, right? We can't stop with it, obviously. I did notice too that one of these front brakes is dragging a little bit, but that stuff's cheap. That's not a big deal. So that's where we're at with it. I don't know if we're gonna be able to leave this in here. Tuesday, the icon box for the E60's coming in. Let me see here. Might be able to tape some wires up here and put a battery in this thing and go ahead and do the Euro tune on it and go ahead and do the updates to it. Might be an option. Might work. We'll see. We'll talk to Dean about it, see what he says. But yeah, the wheels and tires, and we could save money by cheaping out on those. I hate to cheap out on those though. And I could buy adapters. You could easy 60 ugly wheels on it. That's not the right thing to do either, I don't believe. So, I guess that's it for today's video, guys. Just kind of an update video. It started out gonna put this engine in and decat everything, and ended up that's not the case. So I guess what I still need to do, got a drip on the floor too, is go and pull this thermostat and the pump out, and I could put all that in. Other than that, man, we're just kind of on hold. I don't know what else to say about it. We'll have a run sooner or later, just not this minute. So stay tuned. We'll be back with either a programming video on this car or the E60 right away. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.